Hello, this video is to show you how to use our Zoleo GPS tracking devices. There's a small power button on the top. If you squeeze and hold that button for around about 4 seconds and then release, you may hear a tone coming from the device, and then you will see the power button and other lights begin to flash to indicate that it's on. Now, just because it's switched on does not mean it has started its location sharing feature. Depending on how the device was powered off is dependent on if it automatically starts or not. Now, the certain way to be sure is that there is a tick icon next to an LED at the top, and you must leave the device outside in a clear area of the sky for about 5 minutes. And if you see the tick double flash, that's not to be confused with the lights all circling round making this button flash twice. This button or this light specifically flashes very quickly twice. That indicates location sharing is active. If that's happened after 5 minutes, then it's been automatically enabled and you'll be able to set off on your expedition. However, if that light hasn't enabled, you want to then enable location sharing. There's a tick button on this device. Now, important to understand here, if you just briefly press this button, it will send one data point to the map. Now, that can confuse some users because they think the device has begun to track because they see it appear on the map. But that's simply sent one check-in message, one location point, and not started the automatic location sharing. To start the automatic location sharing, you have to squeeze and hold that tick button for around about 4 seconds. And once you've done that, you will hear it make another tone, and then leave it outside again in the open air in an area that's got a clear view of the sky for 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes for that request to enable location sharing to be received by the satellites and for the activation to come back. And then that double tick will appear and you should be able to start your expedition. Now, Zoleo's will not send the same data point within around about a 50-meter radius. So we recommend moving the device at least 100 meters before you start your expedition, just to test that it is sending multiple data points to the map. It will send one data point every 6 minutes. Where do you store the device? Up on the shoulder, somewhere with a good view of the sky. It can be at the top of a backpack, it can hang off the back of a backpack. Ideally, try and keep it reasonably horizontal, but the device is reasonably forgiving, so if it moves off to the side, it should still transmit well. At the end of the expedition, if you simply power the device straight off, that won't necessarily end the location sharing correctly, and you may not start automatically when you power the device on. So the best thing to do is to squeeze and hold this button for 4 seconds at the end of your expedition. Leave it for 5 minutes. That double tick button will then stop flashing and you'll just see the power light and maybe the other buttons flashing as well. Then it is safe to power the device down. Generally, we recommend leaving the device on for the duration of the expedition. There's no real need to turn it off overnight unless you are going to keep it indoors. If you are, then it will use more battery. So then do turn it off using that sequence we've just shared. So squeeze and hold for 4 seconds, that tick at the end of the day, leave it outside for a few minutes. That should then cease the location sharing feature and you can then safely power the device. Finally, you may decide to use the Zoleo with its accompanying mobile app, where you link to the device via Bluetooth. The very most important thing to understand about the way this operates is that for the very first time you connect to the Zoleo with any new mobile phone, that could be your supervisors and perhaps the team leaders, every new mobile phone which connects to the device will automatically turn off the location sharing feature. So if you have got it enabled and you connect to the phone with Bluetooth, just be aware it will switch off location sharing and you'll see a button within the app move to cancelling the location share. Now you can go into the check-in and location share settings within the app and switch location share back on, and you can also squeeze and hold that button for 4 seconds to turn it back on as well. Hopefully that's clear. Other than that, there's lots of information in our pack that shows you how to use the Zoleo in terms of the messaging capabilities. Note that it comes with only 25 credits. Every time you read a text message which is sent by satellite, it will consume 1 credit, and every time you send one, it will consume 1 credit as well. So be careful not to use too many more credits than that, because each one that you use costs around about £1 per message to read or to send messages. Beyond that, it's a great device. I hope you have great fun using it on your expedition.